Welcome back to another video, everyone. Today we're going to be exploring pearOS, which is a Linux-based operating system, but looks exactly like macOS. As you can see on the computer in front of me, I've pulled up the website here. So far, it makes it look pretty easy. All we have to do is just download the ISO. But I think whilst that downloads, what we should do is actually have a look and see what this is about. The startup system looks exactly like macOS. You've got pearOS recovery. You've got Liquid Gel, I believe it's called, which is their version of Liquid Glass. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And this is going to make this MacBook Pro over here that is just out of the angle of the camera, which I'll show you right here, a lot better. Now, it's currently running no operating system and it's definitely seen better days. So I thought it'd be fun to, instead of putting a newer version of macOS on there, put this on here and it will actually run relatively okay. Now, I don't know if on this machine I actually have Rufus installed. If you don't know, you need a tool called Rufus to basically be able to actually do anything with an ISO. To get it to boot off a USB, you need to download Rufus, and this is restricted to Windows only. So that's why I'm running Windows on a Mac, because I have to. All right, so we're going to download this here. This MacBook is slow on Windows. Now, I have no idea how smooth this is going to run, and I have no idea how easy it's going to be to install. Right, Rufus is already installed, nice and quickly. Right, so we've got our 32GB USB that is always here with us, being tried and true with the USB-C and USB-A. But let's plug it in. I've got my little adapter over here because these stupid old MacBooks only come with one USB-C. Right, so Rufus is going to format this for us anyway, so we don't need to worry about that. Now we're going to select our ISO image, which should just be in the download section. Here it is. And we are just going to go onto pearOS. I'm just going to see if there's anything it needs us to do for the installation guide. Okay, start. Yep. Yeah. It's just warning us that it's going to wipe the whole USB, which is absolutely fine. I am going to be intrigued to see how well this runs and how quickly it's actually going to install. Now, from what I've seen, you cannot have this as a separate partition on your drive. It's either you have it or you don't. That's why I decided to dedicate this 2012 MacBook Pro to be the one that has to take the hit. But I will be back with you once it's installed. Right, so we are now done. So now, all we need to do is just safely eject this, which is not on this bit. On a Windows machine, we eject. So we are fully done with this machine now, hopefully. Right, and now for the absolute chonker. I'm hoping that as soon as I plug this in, hey, there we go. Okay, I did not think it would be that easy. I have no idea. Well, we don't have an NVIDIA GPU, I don't think, in this one. Oh, we might. No. You know what? We're going to go for this one. What could be the worst thing that happens? It doesn't work. It's not looking great so far. Am I just going to have to, like, mash buttons until I get to the right outcome? Or, you know, I mean, this is Linux, so maybe it's just... Hey! Oh, my God. What is that? What on earth is that? Are we seeing this? You know what, it reminds me of something like out of Victorious or something. That's the vibes I'm getting from this operating system. So I think that's the show it's from. Isn't Pear... Yeah, the Pear's Victorious, I believe. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to install pearOS. I don't know why. It's gone straight into pearOS, so we're running off the USB right now. Oh, whoa, okay. So we're going to go English. Install. Oh my God, this is so weird. Yeah, it's going to erase the disk, whatever. You need an internet connection. Okay, do I have to go all the way back? Oh my God, it works just like oh, no, I didn't want to go that far back. Okay, it wants an internet connection, but I have no... No, terminate the notch. I don't want a notch. Where can I connect it to the internet? Genuinely. On macOS, it's usually up in the top right up here. I'm so confused. Okay, if this is just like... Because we're not in a real recovery... Like... Can I just... quit pearOS installer? I'm so confused. Okay, well now I've just... Out of all the options I probably could have done, that probably was not the best one to press. Okay, let's reboot. Oh, whoa. You know what? Let's just log out. See if we can log out and log back in. Okay, that just... Okay, that worked. That seemed to have worked. Right, so will I get a little... Aha, there we go. It's so weird because this looks like the latest version of macOS. This isn't going to run the smoothest off the USB, so that's why I'm trying not to play with it too much. Why has it got a notch? Okay, we're just gonna go straight into installing pearOS. I did not think... Maybe I've just pressed on the wrong option, but I don't know why it hasn't just gone straight into recovery. Install pearOS. Yep. Hey, there we go. Right, so we're finally actually on installation bit. How long does it reckon it's going to take? I'm going to say half an hour. Oh, wow. Okay, that's really not going to take long at all. Okay, well, I'll be back with you in 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Right, so we have encountered our first error. Check home/live/desktop/install log for details. You may need to restart the installer or check your disk. The time is wrong. Okay. That I should be able to fix. So we've got to get to the internet and we've also got to tell it the time. It's running really quick off of the USB, to be fair to it. Right, so let's give it the right time. It has also got the complete wrong date. So I'm assuming system settings, and give it the right time zone. That would probably help. Let's try this for the third time. You know what they say, third time's a charm. This is going to work straight away, I reckon. This is just going to be the easiest install you've ever seen. And it's frozen. Yes, let's go. Fully frozen now. I'm gonna have to set the date. That's up. Oh god, that is a really incredibly long day. Fourth time's a charm. That's what that is the saying. Fourth time's a charm. Hey, we're back. Are we on the right time? Connected to the internet. Just gotta do everything I just did. That's where we were before. So I'll be back with you if there's any problems, and hopefully once it's installed. Oh, so it's been about 20 minutes and it looked like it was about to finish. And then we got this error. I don't really know what the problem is. Might be the way that it's formatted. Maybe I need to reformat it into a different partition. Target not found. This. That literally means nothing to me. Just to give some context to this next clip, by this point I'd already tried to erase the drive into a different partition because maybe it was using something that it shouldn't have been using. I then managed to shut disk utility, but I wanted to reopen it and the software wouldn't let me reopen it. And then, well, this happened. Oh my god, it's frozen again. Oh, no, okay, no, it hasn't frozen. It's frozen. Yes. Right, log out. Come on, please. I just need... Oh, please. Install pearOS. We are still here. Oh my god. How is this? How have we got so many problems? Install. Continue. Agree. This one. And I'll be back with you once we have an error. Because realistically, that's what's going to happen, isn't it? So after literal hours and it going nearly dark, I cannot get this to install. I've swapped out the hard drive on the Mac physically to try and see if it was the hard drive. I've tried a different option on the list from earlier. It will not install, and I can't find anywhere online that states that this something should be going wrong at this point. I thought, you know what? Instead of just completely abandoning the video, we still got access to Liquid Gel, and we still got access to pearOS. So, yes, it's not going to run as smooth as it would have done if it was installed straight onto the Mac. It's running off the USB. I can still use it fine. So why not have a look, see what pearOS is about, and go from there. As you can see, we are greeted like we are on a Mac. And it's so weird because this actually has so many similarities. It is a very good replica of macOS. But at the end of the day, it is actually literally just a skin over Linux. So they've added a couple animations in, obviously the genie effect. So you can see the window, it's got the exact same thing as the settings in macOS. You have this little border around here, and then you have the border around the edge. And it's actually really smooth. Like, it's actually really impressive. Look, and the dock reacts to me pushing it down. Like, it's actually insane, especially considering this is running off a USB. It's running really well, which would be a great alternative for macOS if you could get it to run. But yeah, we have Safari, which we did look at earlier. Safari is actually literally just the regular Linux browser, but just with a Safari icon over it. It's nothing insane. And you'll find a lot of these apps on here are just apps with skins. Launchpad, that is skinned, but it still works completely fine. Now, I am intrigued to see what is the phone mirroring. Oh wow, so if you, okay, so you can install the KDE Connect Android app and even in the iOS store, and it will mirror the phone. That is actually a pretty cool feature, I can't lie. What else have we got? Well, the App Store, I'm assuming it's just going to be the Linux App Store. It's skinned exactly like the App Store. Arcade, Work, Play, Develop categories. It is just the Linux App Store. Photos app, I'm assuming this is just going to be the Photos section maybe in the Finder. Yeah, that is literally exactly what it is. I can't believe how similar this actually looks. Like, I'm really surprised they haven't, like, Apple haven't done anything about this because it is so similar. And on this version, we have the notch, which I'm assuming if you play music or something, it might come up on there. So let's get something on YouTube. Oh, look, when it plays the sound, it shows up in the notch. That's pretty cool. But we have no UI. So yeah, it shows if something's playing, like on the dynamic island off an iPhone, but it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't serve a purpose. It's obviously just a UI element, which you can disable, and I think most people would, because why would you want a fake notch? You don't want a real notch in the first place, so why would you want a fake one? We also have the little bar up here that shows, like, it looks like macOS. All the UI is very similar, just ever so slightly different, which is pretty cool. What else can we look at? I mean, there's not really much else to look at. Let's have a look at let's go into settings. Let's have a look at some of the desktop backgrounds that they've got. Because I'll be intrigued to see if they've maybe got some of the macOS ones, because this looks like a similar-ish macOS one. Looks like they've gone into ChatGPT and just gone, change this background to make it slightly different. But yeah, appearance, what's under appearance? So some of the text in the little area up here, the little bar, goes black when you go into light mode. We'll just stay in dark mode so that you can still see on the camera everything. That's weird. What else can we do? Whoa, you got time machine? Time machine doesn't work. Pair care and warranty. It's just so weird that they copy stuff like that. Touch ID and password. I'm assuming Touch ID and password, like Touch ID is if you actually have a fingerprint sensor on your laptop, which obviously we don't have on this one. Desktop and dock. Huh. Okay. So some of this stuff really isn't available. And I don't think, on macOS you've got a scale effect and you've got Genie effect, and I couldn't find anywhere to change it from Genie effect to scale effect. So maybe it's just not in there yet. But other than that, this is actually a pretty cool macOS replica. And if you did want macOS, but without having a Mac, it's actually pretty close. And you get all the perks of having Linux. Linux is the most easily changeable operating system. You can do whatever you want to it. A lot of people enjoy it, but at the end of the day, it is just Linux with a Mac skin on it. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you don't really gain much by going for this over something like Ubuntu or a custom Linux distro. You don't get that. With this, it is literally just a couple extra elements to make it feel like you're on a Mac, which I don't really think a lot of people would want to do. Unless maybe you've got a MacBook like this that you are just wanting to speed up because all the new versions of macOS make it slower and you want it to feel as similar-ish to Mac as possible. But I think at that point, if you are downloading custom operating system onto your Mac, you're already pretty literate with computers and going the extra mile. So you'd probably just be fine with going with a regular Linux distro. Like I can't understand why someone would want to go for this. Because I know me personally, I'd rather either have macOS or have Linux. I wouldn't want a weird mashup in between. It just doesn't make sense. But that being said, it's a very cool distro. And in the future, if you do want to see me do it on a Windows computer or a Chromebook, let me know down below and I will try and make that video happen. Also, there is going to be more videos coming out now on a regular schedule. It's just been a very busy couple of weeks, so we've missed out on some uploads, but we'll be back to the regular Friday uploads back for you. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, even though we couldn't install it fully onto the machine, yeah, if you did enjoy it, please make sure to like and subscribe. It's been Harry. I'm out. Peace.